Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. Let's talk expectations. How are you feeling about Yuki Tsunoda's debut for Red Bull Racing this weekend at the Japanese Grand Prix? Do you think he'll be able to adapt quickly to one of the most demanding cars on the grid, or are you skeptical about this sudden change? The decision to promote Tsunoda has divided opinions, and one person who seems less than thrilled about it is none other than Max Verstappen himself. Over the past few days, Verstappen has openly criticized Red Bull for their swift decision to remove Liam Lawson after just 2 races, arguing that he was never given a real chance to settle into the car or adapt to the new environment. And now, in the lead-up to the Japanese Grand Prix, Max made headlines again after being asked whether he would assist Tsunoda in adjusting to the new car setup and the internal workings of Red Bull. His response was firm and honest. Everyone trying to succeed in this sport works hard for it every single day. They absolutely deserve a chance. I saw Yuki briefly yesterday. He was busy at the factory. But at the end of the day, it's not really my job. He has to figure everything out for himself, because my experience isn't his, and it won't really help him. There you have it. No special guidance, no mentoring. Verstappen made it clear that he expects Tsunoda to earn his place the hard way, just like everyone else in Formula One. Some might see that as harsh. Others will argue it's just part of the game in the most competitive racing series in the world. After all, Verstappen himself has fought his way to the top, and in a sport where even teammates are rivals, emotional support often takes a back seat to performance. Still, Tsunoda doesn't seem bothered by Verstappen's stance. In fact, the Japanese driver has displayed a high level of confidence heading into his home race. Speaking to the media, he said he believes the Red Bull car is not as difficult to handle as people think, and that with the right mindset and preparation, he could even fight for a podium finish this weekend at Suzuka. That's a bold statement, and one that has definitely caught the attention of fans and analysts alike. Tsunoda is no stranger to pressure, and the chance to race in front of his home crowd with a top-tier car may be exactly the kind of opportunity he's been waiting for. Of course, expectations should be managed. The Red Bull car is built heavily around Verstappen's driving style, and history has shown how challenging it can be for teammates to find comfort or confidence in it. The car demands precision, aggression, and full commitment, qualities Tsunoda certainly has, but will need to apply quickly if he hopes to make an impression. Whether or not he can live up to his own expectations remains to be seen. But there's no denying that his debut comes with massive stakes, both for his own future and for Red Bull's ability to maintain internal stability during a critical point in the season. So now we turn it over to you. Do you agree with Max Verstappen's approach? Should he be doing more to help his new teammate adapt? Or is it fair for Tsunoda to find his own way? And what about Yuki himself? Can he really deliver a podium in his first weekend with Red Bull, or is this confidence misplaced? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoy this kind of in-depth Formula One coverage, don't forget to subscribe to Grand Prix, leave a like, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next update. We'll be watching Suzuka closely. See you on race day. If you managed to catch free practice 2 in the early hours, you probably witnessed one of the most dramatic moments of the session. A heavy crash involving Jack Doohan just moments after the main straight. The images were intense. Doohan's car collided with the barriers at high speed, leaving the vehicle severely damaged. Thankfully, the Alpine reserve driver was able to exit the cockpit under his own power, appearing shaken and possibly in pain, but ultimately okay. The car, however, was completely destroyed, and the Alpine team will face a significant challenge trying to rebuild it in time for FP3. But what exactly caused the crash? Was it a mechanical failure, or something else entirely? Initial speculation pointed toward a possible DRS malfunction. The drag reduction system, DRS, which reduces aerodynamic drag to increase top speed, appeared to stay open longer than it should have. This may have caused a total loss of rear downforce, leading to the dramatic spin and impact as Doohan approached the opening corner. However, Alpine didn't waste time clearing the air. Shortly after the incident, the team released a statement confirming the issue was indeed related to the DRS, but not due to a technical failure. According to Alpine, the crash was the result of driver error and not a flaw in the machinery. Here's what happened. Suzuka's Turn 1 is unique. Unlike many other circuits, this corner doesn't require a sharp braking zone at entry. Instead, drivers need to carefully manage their speed and manually deactivate DRS before turning in. Since the system doesn't shut off automatically without braking, the responsibility falls entirely on the driver to close it before initiating the corner. Unfortunately, Jack Doohan forgot to deactivate the DRS, and that small oversight had big consequences. With significantly reduced rear downforce, he lost grip instantly and was launched into the barriers at a frightening speed. Alpine was quick to defend its driver, explaining that Doohan missed out on FP1 and thus had less time to adapt to the circuit and the car's behavior. The team referred to the crash as a learning moment and reassured fans that both the car and the driver will be ready for the final practice session and qualifying. From a developmental perspective, these things happen. Mistakes like these are part of a young driver's learning curve, especially when stepping into such a high-pressure environment with limited time on track. While it was a costly crash, it's the kind of experience that could prove invaluable to Doohan's growth as a Formula One prospect. Still, it begs the question, was this just an understandable rookie mistake, or a basic error that shouldn't happen at this level of motorsport? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Was it a simple oversight from a driver still getting to grips with the car, or do you believe Doohan should have been more prepared? And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Grand Prix. Leave a like if you enjoy these updates, and turn on notifications so you never miss another key moment from the F1 weekend. We'll be back soon with full coverage from FP3 and qualifying. Stay tuned, and let's see how Doohan bounces back. Let's shift our attention to Ferrari, a team that seemed to fly a bit under the radar during today's free practice sessions at Suzuka. While much of the focus was on Red Bull's internal drama and the early crash involving Jack Doohan, Ferrari quietly got to work, though initial signs suggest they may still be a step behind McLaren in overall pace. The team's performance didn't scream for attention. The lap times weren't particularly eye-catching, and after a tough couple of weekends in China and Australia, it's clear the team still has progress to make. But despite the lack of headline-grabbing speed, there's a quiet optimism coming from within the garage. Carlos Sainz, for example, spoke positively about the car's behavior in Sector 1, where the grip levels were high and the Ferrari felt strong through the faster corners. He mentioned that during free practice 1, the car's balance was far from ideal, but after key setup changes, things improved significantly in FP2. The team took a big step forward, according to Sainz, who noted they still have work to do before FP3 in qualifying. But he's excited to see what the weekend holds, especially with a strong chance of rain forecast for Sunday. Now, rain hasn't historically been a strength for this year's Ferrari package, something we already saw in the season opener. Still, Sainz appeared hopeful that changing conditions could actually work in their favor this time, especially if they manage to tune the car correctly heading into qualifying. Charles Leclerc echoed a similar tone. He explained that throughout both sessions, he experimented with a variety of setups and configurations in an attempt to better understand how to extract maximum performance from the SF24. While the lap times may not reflect it, Leclerc stated that both driver feel and data analysis suggest the car has more potential than meets the eye. Leclerc also pointed out that weather conditions, particularly wind and rain, will likely play a big role in FP3 and qualifying. Ferrari's engineers are already studying forecast data carefully, trying to stay ahead of the curve. If they can respond quickly to shifting track conditions, Ferrari could find themselves in a stronger position than most expect. It's interesting how perception can differ from internal reality in Formula One. While Ferrari looked relatively quiet on the timesheets today, internally, they believe they've made solid gains, and that they're much better positioned for the rest of the weekend than most observers might assume. That brings us to the question, do you believe Ferrari could surprise us at Suzuka? With the potential for rain on Sunday, are they looking at another struggle? Or could this be their unexpected breakthrough? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you confident that Ferrari has a competitive package for this Grand Prix weekend? Or do you think the changing weather could spell disaster for them once again? Don't forget to subscribe to Grand Prix, leave a like, and turn on notifications so you stay ahead of every twist and turn from the F1 paddock. We'll be back soon with everything from FP3 and qualifying. Stay tuned, and keep your eyes on the Scuderia.